Hi guys, so this is the recipe for Belgian buns, an all-time classic, one of my favourites. I think the thing that makes this special is not only making the bread yourself, but making your own lemon curd. So I'll take you through the process. So we have 100 grams of sugar, 50 grams of butter, and the zest and juice of 2 lemons. That's gone on a hot water bath. Once the butter's melted, I'll add 2 beaten eggs. Let it thicken over about 10 minutes and that's the lemon curd into sterilised jars. So once the butter's melted, we really want the water simmering. Then we add the egg and we keep whisking for about 10 minutes to allow it to thicken up. So there we go. The BBC Good Food recipe calls for you to strain out the zest of the lemon through a sieve, but I've never done that. I enjoy my lemon curd very zesty. So I'll just leave it in the jar, let it cool down, put a lid on, and you can keep that in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. So this is the same enriched dough recipe I use for cinnamon rolls. 408 grams of flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt is in there. 177 grams of water, you can use milk. I've warmed that up to 20 degrees. We've got 1 egg with 1 yolk, 50 grams of sugar with 7 grams of yeast, and 57 grams of melted butter. And this all just gets added to the flour. Now you can use your bread machine for enriched dough, you can use a Kenwood, or you can do it by hand. The choice is yours. Depending on the size of your eggs, the dough might become quite sticky, so you might have to add an additional bit of flour. I'm using fairly small eggs, so I'm not going to have that problem. Now I'm just going to knead it. So there we go, that's kneaded. I'm just going to leave that for an hour or so till it's doubled in size. Put a cloth over the bowl. Okay, so I've left my dough for a little bit over an hour. Just going to knock it back, which means push the air bubbles out of it. I'm going to stretch this into a rectangle that is 14 inches by 9 inches. And I found a good way to do that is get your basic shape. Get my tape measure. So that's 14 inches apart. There's my 9 inches. So now just get my rolling pin, give it a very light dusting of flour. Now I'm just going to coat it with lemon curd. And I'm going to leave about an inch at the end. Free. I've got 150 grams of sultanas. I'm just going to sprinkle them over. Distribute them as evenly as possible. Now I'll just roll this up. And just at the end here, I'm just going to push down to seal it. And then roll that to the bottom. The two outer cuts are obviously not going to be perfect. Then you want to cut them about 1 inch deep. I'll use a serrated knife. I find it a bit easier than a sharp knife to cut the buns. I've just put the buns into a tray with some greaseproof paper that's been lightly greased. And I'll put a towel over that and leave it for 45 minutes and then they'll go into the oven. 45 minutes later, they've puffed up slightly. And these go in at 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes or so until their edges have gone a nice golden brown. So I left the tea towel over these while they cool down, traps the moisture in there, keeps them nice and soft. The icing, just icing sugar with a bit of lemon curd, a bit of water. And of course, the finishing touch, cherry on top. Hope you enjoy these as much as we do. Cheers.